Yo, what's up? We have exciting news today because Gaijin did something so absolutely pro-tarded that it's just ridiculously funny to watch now. And at this point in time, it's like a crash that's just, it's horrific in theory, but it's also entertaining. So yeah, I recommend you just watch the spectacle and enjoy the utter levels of brain damage that are gonna unfold now in front of our eyes. So what happened? Well, there was a new, announcement made about the upcoming big update. But only indirectly, because there's a pre-order. Pre-order means usually in the next roughly 3 to 4 weeks the big update is going to be released. Okay, so far so good. I even in the live stream yesterday I even talked about, because we were talking about many things regarding Enlisted but also other games. We talked about how there should be spoilers coming soon about the next update. And wow, cool timing. All right. Pre-order. Well, pre-order news with the most important part is the name, Heavy Assault, because the name always gives you indication about what's gonna be the next topic. Heavy Assault, okay. I guess we can expect some big heavy tanks, like maybe Jagdpanzer or heavy anti-tank, heavy tank destroyers and things like that. Yeah, okay. So far so good, but here comes the actual problem. When people saw this, everyone thought, damn, this looks amazing. This is a Tiger 1H, the BR4 one, with the best camo in Enlisted, arguably. Why is it so good, you wonder? Because this is straight up taken from a War Thunder package that is available right now. Well, you can also buy this package. Or like buy these items, together with other items. But more about that a bit later. And the IS-1 is, since recently, also a BR4 tank. And it also has some cool nets, it has some cool other stuff, but obviously not as cool as this cool customization on the Tiger. Now both tanks have some advantages over the normal versions because they have some tracks put on them. The Tiger one has them here around the hull, and the IS-1 has them also here around the turret and also here in the lower center of the hull. And they're also well hidden with the camouflage. So these tanks are a bit better than the normal texture versions. But here comes the bad part. Because I made it as fair as possible by only giving you the good parts. First, this is the pre-order bundle for the next update. To my knowledge, in the first time of the 7-year-old history of Enlisted, there's a pre-order for the update, for the big update, that doesn't include any new content. Usually, pre-order bundles always came with some special squads that are thematically linked to the next update. For example, the jet power update brought the jets to Enlisted into the tech trees, and it also contained, well, premium jets as a pre-order bundle. The Silent Hunter update, well, was supposed to bring silenced guns to the tech trees, but then all the forum kumas complained and whined, and Gaijin removed the silenced guns from the tech tree and instead only sold 2 silenced premium squads as a pre-order bundle. And the history goes back like that far in the last years. But here, yeah, we get 2, more, yeah, but in theory these are heavy tanks, yes, sure. But, well, we can expect, these are heavy tanks, but they're not new content. These are like around 95% identical to the tech tree, functionally. Like these tracks, they do a little bit of they protect you a little bit, yes, but here's the problem. You kill IS-1s by shooting at the turret cheeks, not by shooting at the hull. They were by doctrine, they were designed to be dug into trenches, so the hull is hidden, and only the turret shows out. So for the IS-1 it barely changes anything. For the Tiger it actually changes maybe quite a lot, because now you are close to the BR5 Tiger E at BR4, okay, but the problem remains, it's BR4. Almost no one plays BF4. Ironically enough, tomorrow's live stream will be BF4 Germany, but only because no one's playing it. So you can actually see something that isn't too recommendable to do yourself. Yeah, so you can save yourself the pain. But okay, it's still not even the worst part, because this bundle means there won't be any new special content coming out. Alright, first problem. Second problem is, it means that Gaijin completely lost the plot, because people are already severely disenfranchised with Enlisted, and they're also the consumer confidence dropped hard over the last year, because in 2025 nothing of really high quality was added to the game. Instead, one drama, one train wreck after another. It's like utter horrific mismanagement, like absolutely hardcore mismanagement. And it's not like Enlisted is a hard to manage game, because the game is one of the easiest to manage actually in the world. Because Enlisted has the luxury of being able to copy-paste content from War Thunder for free. Especially now that Enlisted is a part of War Thunder. So there's nothing easier than to just look, alright, which assets from War Thunder are we gonna copy now? You don't have any work to do, and then you just think, okay, what infantry-related stuff can we add? You can literally run a full game with only half the work. Yeah? And the other half will be high quality work, because it's already tested, it's already bug fixed, and so it's even easier than half the work. But even that Gaijin fucking fail set, because players Enlisted now think, well, is the game dying or what? Because no serious company would ever ruin a 7-year-old streak of also a tradition of putting exciting stuff into the pre-order bundles by just completely ruining this and just going for low effort cash grabs that aren't even worth buying. Like, also in the overall context of, once again, instead Gaijin could have just grabbed anything interesting from War Thunder that would actually be worth buying. So this is one of the worst possible ways you could present yourself to the player base, but also possible customers, by just showing that you absolutely don't care and also don't understand. Once again, there's nothing easier than to actually create exciting premium content for Enlisted. There's nothing easier like that than that in the world. But still, Gaijin fails. Like, what the fuck? And, well, this bundle costs 50 euros. Or $50 to $60, wherever you are in the world. Well, let's put it this way. Once again, in the past, you received 2 completely new, more or less creative, more or less exciting, more or less worth playing squads. But now, it's just a complete nonsense. Like, this is absolute ridiculously stupid. If let's put it this way, if you had done this in any serious company, the whole fucking team would have been fired. From top to bottom, everyone would be fired, because this is a clear indicator of a severe strategic crisis, of no one having any sense anymore. Because this is just utterly stupid. And here's the thing: I'm not saying this to be like angry or impolite. No, I'm literally just being entertained by watching. It's funnier than watching comedies, because it's so absurd. No, I'm saying this because I'm pointing out that it could be much different. Like, Gaijin could have just released something good, and I would be very happy that Gaijin could make lots of money with good content, because, once again, all a company needs to do is create content people will want to buy, and just get rich of it, and be happy that people are happy buying the stuff, getting the stuff. Because how does selling works? You create something that people want more than the money. If you create something I want more than I want $50 for, I will instantly give you the $50, because I want the $50 less than I want the stuff that you have. Ta-da! And both sides are happy. The basic economics, alright? But many companies nowadays don't understand even that. Because they don't understand how to create exciting content, how to balance the relation between what is good enough and what is not good enough, and also how to position itself publicly. Because this is utter retardation. This is utter retardation. if this would cost, let's say, $20, all right, people would still be disappointed because there's no new content once again for the first time in 7 years. They also would still complain, yeah, it's expensive, but some people would buy it. And the smart thing would have been to make this $15 or euros, because then actually I would instantly buy it and many people would also buy it, because yeah, it's still, I mean, you can get high quality indie games for that, and supporting indie game producers is usually better than throwing money at companies that are just arrogant, but still people would buy it. But nope, it costs exactly as much as normal high quality premium pre-order bundles. Yeah, so this is just a ridiculously, and this is just, it's as bad as it could be. It's literally a complete failure across all levels. There's no other. That's why it's so funny. It's as if someone tried to retard Max and he actually succeeded. Yes, and for those of you who are playing War Thunder, because I got my War Thunder dudes and they told me that, well, there is also a bundle for War Thunder players in War Thunder where they can get these things, but here comes the good part. These bundles only cost like $35, and these bundles contain actually more content, because the German one, like you get a Wirbelwind, or you get some form of good spar, like you get a good self-propelled artillery, also with cool camo, for less than what you pay in Enlisted. And that's why the War Thunder players are extra angry, because they think, what the fuck? War Thunder is the bigger game, the more successful game, which can, also with the more branded, well, no, actually it's hard to, I wouldn't call any of both player bases more branded, but but War Thunder has the more hardcore rails, let's put it this way. And that's why War Thunder could afford demanding more ridiculous prices than Enlisted. But here it's the exact opposite. Here Enlisted demands the ridiculously super over-tiered prices for less quality. This is absolute nonsense. Like, this is absolute nonsense. And yeah, you get your name decorators. Now here's a problem with nickname decorators. Nickname decorators have the issue of just of the size. As many things on the internet have nowadays. For example, if you have these name decorators, you can look at the name decorators I'm using right now. These palm trees, I bought them like 2 or 3 years, I think I bought them 3 years ago. And these were the first time in Enlisted history I really wanted to get a decorator, and I instantly bought it because they look very cool. And they also fit thematically if you play the Pacific or if you play Tunisia. And they're just also the most beautiful ones. And they're also perfectly designed. Yeah, they perfectly fit the surrounding of your name and so on. Most decorators in this game are not like that. Most decorators in the game are, well, either ugly or just trivial, or they're misaligned. For example, the MP40 of the Partisan pre-order had completely ugly, misaligned MP40s that looked like they just that they got shifted accidentally. Now, why wasn't that corrected? Or why was it designed like that in the first place? But okay, now what is the problem here? If you look, obviously this name here is this font is bigger than that. If you use these name decorators in real games, they will be so small you will not make out any differences. Here you can remotely identify this is an IS-1 silhouette and this is a Tiger 1 silhouette, yeah, but in real games these icons are A, too small, and B, too detailed, especially with the fine lines, and you won't understand nothing. So they are simply dysfunctional. This means they won't work. Like this is just a basic design flaw that could be easily solved by making the decorators a bit bigger and having less details, while still being clearly identifiable as these tanks. And tada, it would work. It would possibly be looking so well that people actually would buy them. But this is just, no, the name decorators don't add much. Yeah. Also, why would you add some random tank decorators if you could be smart and add nation-specific decorators that everyone in the world would want to buy? If you just sell 3 different decorators per nation or per faction, we have 4 factions right now. people would want to buy them. At least one of them, or if the price is the discount, the bundle price is good, people would buy all of them together. But not these types of just low quality decorators. Like, no, this doesn't fucking work. And here's the thing, most decorators are even ugly. Like, most pre-order decorators are actually so ugly, I would not even want to get them. So yeah, it's just ridiculous. So, well, and here's for the end, the last problem. There doesn't seem to be a logical progression or pre-planning of updates in Enlisted, because other companies plan updates ahead so they perfectly fit thematically. And so they also create synergy among themselves. For example, Magic the Gathering plans its updates 3 to 4 years ahead. And if you buy something today, it likely was completed 2 years ago, and it was printed and produced around 1 year ago. Or started production around 1 year ago. And thematically everything gets designed around 3 years before it gets released. So this means the company always has a perfect timing of making sure that everything fits well, of thinking ahead of, alright, we had like one set with this topic this first quarter, and the second quarter will get a fitting topic, and then the third quarter will get a topic that fits with the first one. And so you can make sure that everything fits well together. You can also plan ahead over multiple years, that you don't have too similar content, so it doesn't get boring, and you always have some exciting stuff. This is how most companies operate that sell entertainment products, by the way. Alright, logic, very basic, you don't need to learn it anywhere, it's just common sense. But I don't see any logical progression in the Gaijin updates. Because they seem like they're just whatever is thrown together right now, whatever random idea someone has pulled, that gets done. Like the Jet Power update had absolutely no make sense. That didn't make sense, no sense at all. Yeah, yeah. I just got an aneurysm from thinking about Gaijin marketing. The Silent Hunter update made even less sense, especially because it was castrated with the removal of the best new weapon of the whole update theoretically. And this update also seems like it doesn't make any sense. Like, where's the overall additional utility for the game? Where's the improvement, the overall quality improvement of the game as a product? There's no improvement. Now I see one common theme, and it's that Gaijin tries to market itself with high BR stuff, because usually, especially low information buyers and all of the consumers with 2 O's, they just look, oh, what's the strongest? I want to buy the strongest. And this usually works to get all of the 12-year-olds to overtax their mummy's credit cards for slop. And yep, well, you can short term have a bit success with that, but it doesn't work in the long run. Also, you get customers for a few months this way, but you don't get the customers to constantly buy, to be loyal buyers, and you also don't keep a loyal player base engaged over multiple years this way. And that's visible in the player base drop of Enlisted. Now, instead, you need to fix the holes that the game has. If a game has severe deficits, you do not try to distract from the deficits by adding some flashy, fancy new stuff. No, you need to fix the problems, and then you add new stuff. Well, you could do both at once, of course, but if the resources are limited for production, yeah, then you need to make compromise, and you need to decide what's more important. And Enlisted has severe issues. Also, guess what? I said, after the Jet update, I said, alright, the next update, in order to succeed, needs to be a self-propelled anti-air gun update. So, spars like the Wirbelwind, tanks with anti-air guns mounted on them. This would sell extremely well, because everyone got angry at the overpowered jets. Now, what do? You give the player base stuff against these overpowered jets. And now everyone will want to buy the spars. And guess what? Since everyone will have spars now, many people will want to buy the old jets. Because, oh, spars are strong, very strong against normal tanks. I need those jets to just outfly the spars. tada, everyone will be happy because there's so many cool new toys that people want. Yep, tada. This would work out fine, but nope. Instead, the complete nonsense gets added. That doesn't make any sense, and also not just from a game design standpoint, but also marketing standpoint and overall positioning standpoint on the market, because selling stuff that's more expensive than the War Thunder stuff is the worst way you can display yourself publicly as Enlisted. Absolutely worst way. And it's not like there's even a discount for people who have it in War Thunder. This would be, by the way, intelligent marketing. You just drag one player base or consumer base into the other game. Just give everyone who has these items in War Thunder, give them a discount of something like 50 to 80%. It would need to be at least 50%, because no one wants to buy the same thing twice. Like, people hate it. And the problem with 50% is it still is ridiculously overpriced and Enlisted. So the smart thing would be give anyone who has any of these items, I would say at least 75%. So 3/4 discount. And if any player has any of these items in one game, he can get he can buy the same thing for the other game with a strong discount. Now, other companies would give it for free to you. So the player base is mixed and people actually start playing both games, because then they might buy stuff in the other game too. But I know Gaijin isn't that intelligent and that forward thinking too. So they always want to make some short-term money, short-term profit at the expense of long-term wealth. So yeah, well, but okay, but not even that was done. So that's the summary of what's going on. Let me know what you think and what your ideas are. Hopefully something good, positive that I missed. I'm afraid I didn't miss anything here. So yeah, well, make sure you also share the video with others so they see what's going on. And of course subscribe, and make sure to watch tomorrow's live stream at the usual time, where we're gonna play BR4 Germany, which pure coincidence perfectly fits with this with this bundle. Spoiler, no, I did not get any secret information from Enlisted. I literally just completely randomly predicted it by setting the topic to exactly be 4 Germans. Alright, so until soon, goodbye.